Hello, and welcome back to another video on Time Gaming. And in today's video, I am going to be ranking all of the different variants of zombies available in the game, aka Guts and Blackpowder, as a noob who has 9 days of, or not 9 days, 9 hours of playtime and only a singular campaign win to my name. So, yeah, I'm a noob at Guts and Blackpowder. So yeah, I'm ranking all of the different types of zombies available in Guts and Blackpowder on a tier list. So without further ado, let's begin. Also, I'm excited to finally bring the tier list series back. This is probably going to require a little bit of editing so as to make sure that the pop-up ads are out of the way because I can't really get rid of those because I don't have enough money to pay to get rid of them. So I just have to tweak the video or whatever. So this video is probably going to be a little bit more edited than most of my long form videos typically are. So without further ado, let's begin. So first we have also, by the way, all of the images and the research that I've done for this video are from the Guts and Blackpowder official wiki. So if you want to check that out, go ahead and check that out. It's in the, I have a link to the wiki in the description below. But anyways, enough yapping from me. Let's go ahead and start the tier list. So first up, we have the normal zombie variants. So these ones right here. And first off, we have the Shambler. So the Shambler, I'm going to put in B tier, and here's why. So Shamblers are the default zombies. They're, these generic zombies or whatever. They're just pretty slow, and there's not really much special to them. Shamblers are they're just the generic zombie. There's nothing special to them. They're pretty lame. They don't really have much to them, and in fact, they're literally the only zombie type in the game. Literally the only type of zombie in the game that cannot kill you by itself. Like, it needs the help of at least one, like, a Shambler needs the help of at least one other zombie to actually be able to deal any sort of damage to you. So, yeah, Shambler, yeah, the only time a Shambler becomes an actual threat is when there's a lot of them, which can happen because the Shambler is, like, the most generic, common enemy type. So, the only time when Shamblers actually pose any significant threat is when either A, they sneak up on you, a bunch of them sneak up on you, B, you get swarmed, or C, you just have no idea what you're doing. But if you're not any one of those three things, then they are probably actually no, scratch that. They are the easiest zombies to deal with in the game. So yeah, they're pretty easy to deal with. Next, we have the Runner. I'm gonna put the Runner in S tier, and here's why. So the Runner, although it may lack in HP, it makes up for in all of its positives. First off, it is able to pounce you, making you unable to move, and unlike the Shambler's Grab, which the zombies can only deal damage if there's helpers, the Runner itself will pounce you down, and he won't let you go, and he'll just keep biting at you, dealing damage and giving you infection. So, yeah, and also he's really fast and can be difficult to dodge if you don't know what you're doing. In fact, he is probably one of, if not the most difficult zombie in the game to dodge, just simply because of how fast it is. So yeah, although it may lack in HP, however, it is a lot more threatening, and in fact is often the main threat to players, to random players or whatever, in any given moment. In fact, they are the reason why it is. In fact, Runners are the single biggest counter to Guts trying to play Guts and Blackpowder solo. So yeah, Runners, they're just really strong. They may lack in HP, but in my opinion, their strengths more than make up for it. Next, we have the Bomber, and I'm going to put him in A tier for. So let me explain my reasoning. So the Bomber, right? It can be very, very strong. It can be one of the strongest zombie types for its team. It has like a lot of really big strengths. However, It also has a lot of really big weaknesses. So let's go over those. First, I'm going to go over the strengths. Bombers are easily the single biggest counter to sapper defenses. I mean, if they light a bomb next to a barricade, it's basically game over for any nearby barricades. Um, they can also sneak up on you and explode you and kill you, or just deal damage if you're more lucky. If you melee a bomber, you will die. There's no question about it. You will die unless you're like using some kind of command special like type of survivor or whatever. But yeah, if you hit as bomber, you are basically guaranteed you are going to die. There's no question about it. You're gonna die. You're just going to die if you melee a bomber. And so yeah, bombers, they can be extremely threatening and are the single biggest counter to sappers. However, there are also some pretty big weaknesses, like I said before. So first off, bombers can be easily dispatched with firearms. So you can like if you just shoot the bomber, it'll explode. You don't even need to let it light itself. And as well, if you let it light its bomb and just get away, then you will be 100% safe. It's not like other zombies where you have to kill them for them to not be a threat. Bombers can actually blow up themselves, which makes it so that it's pretty counterable, and if you like aren't surprised or aren't an idiot. Goodness, I don't know what I'm saying. but but yeah, the bomber, I'd say. Oh yeah, another thing. I forgot what I was gonna say. So I guess yeah, I guess the bomber is gonna be staying A tier for now for the reasons I just stated. Can't remember if there's anything else important to mention about the bomber. But yeah. All right, next we have the Igniter, and I'm going to put the Igniter in A tier below the Bomber. And here's why. So the Igniter is the main zombie type for area denial. It can throw a lantern and basically light up an entire area with fire or whatever. Like it can light up an entire area with fire and basically make it impassable until you put out the fire or the fire gets put out. I don't remember. I think you're supposed to put out the fire. I can't remember exactly how you deal with igniter fire because igniters are so rare. But yeah. So however, they are a bit map dependent, like location dependent. I'd say they're easily the most map location dependent zombie type. Because I mean, if they just throw it like they can either throw it in a really good place and make it so it's like basically impossible to advance until it's put out, or as in some way, or they can just put it in an area where it's like not easily avoidable and not really much of an issue. But yeah, igniters can be really strong area denial. So yeah, I'd say they're pretty close to bombers. They can provide pretty strong area denial, but are also pretty map dependent. So for that reason, I think I'll leave them in. I think I'll put them in A tier. I'm actually debating on which one should be higher, but I think for now I'll leave Igniter below Bomber, and we'll see if I want to change that later. Next we have the Sapper Zombie. The Sapper Zombie is kind of like a tank-ish type zombie. I'll put the Sapper in B tier above the Shambler, and here's why. So, the Sapper, again, is the closest thing the game has to a sort of like tank zombie. It has a big axe or whatever that it uses. Basically, it like I don't know I don't know what the word is for like attacking with an axe, but yeah, basically they lunge at you with an axe, and yeah, they deal a lot of damage. They deal like the status effect that like makes you more vulnerable to infection, and if they hit you, and as well, they will literally take away half of your HP. So yeah, if you don't dodge, if you can't see them, or if you just don't dodge them, you can be in for some serious trouble because again, they can take away half your HP. However, the sapper zombies are like really slow, and as well, their attacks are probably the easiest to dodge in the entire game. Like they are easy. Like if you know what you're doing, like if you don't get surprised by them, there is basically no way that you can like it's super easy to dodge them if you know what you're doing and know where they are. So yeah, and in addition, they have to pick up their axe after they throw it at you, which gives you a lot of time to kill them. And although the headshot immunity does help a little bit with the tank build, again, and while they can deal a lot of damage if you aren't careful, however, they are pretty easily counterable if you know what you're doing. So for that reason, I think I'm going to have the Sapper Zombie in B tier, but above the Shambler. So yeah. Next we have the Cuirassier. Sorry if I pronounced that wrong. I probably did. And then the Cuirassier, I'm gonna put it in the top of S tier because I mean, come on, it's basically just a mini boss. Goodness, I keep breathing into my mic max and sorry, I am really sorry about that. I keep breathing into my mic max and here, let me move the mic away from my face a little bit. There you go. Now hopefully I won't keep breathing into the mic as much. But sorry, I keep breathing into my mic by accident. Yeah, basically the Cuirassier is basically the closest thing that Guts and Blackpowder has to a mini boss. It is extremely tanky. If I remember correctly, it can only be dealt damage by guns. I'm not entirely sure if this is true, but I think it is. I'm pretty sure. Yeah, I'm pretty sure Cuirassiers can only be damaged with guns, and yeah, as well they have an extremely damaging sword, and yeah, they can charge. They can counter sappers. Cuirassiers are basically just the best of every world. They may not be the fastest, but I mean they're just really really strong. And again, they're basically just mini bosses. So yeah, they are very good. They are very strong, and I don't even really need to explain myself that much. If you can just read the Guts and Blackpowder wiki if you want more. But yeah, I don't really need to explain myself. Cuirassier is basically a mini boss, easy S tier. And next we have the viral zombie variants. So viral zombie viral there are only two zombie types that have viral variants. And basically viral variants come from when a player who is infected dies. Basically a viral variant will spawn from their body if they're infected depending on what class they are. Or chaplains can't be turned into viral variants because they can't be infected. But basically if an infected player dies, they will be resurrected into one of two viral zombie variants depending on what class they used. So starting off with the viral runner is easy S tier, even above the runner. So the viral the the viral runner is like, bro, the viral runner is just like incredibly strong. I mean, like, how do I even say it, bro? It's incredibly overpowered. Like, goodness, I'm glazing. I'm glazing, bro. But yeah, the viral runner is basically everything that the runner is, but better. So the viral runner will spawn from any infected player that isn't a sapper. So if it's like infantryman, officer, seaman, surgeon, whatever. Any infected player that dies that isn't a sapper will be respawned as a viral runner. A viral runner has, I believe, double the HP of a normal runner. It's faster, it's more erratic, and deals like multiple status effects that normal runners won't. Like normal runners only deal infected, I'm pretty sure, and viral runners deal like 3 effects. So yeah, viral runner is basically just a super buffed. Is basically just a buffed version of runner. It's really powerful, and I'd say the viral runner is probably close to, if not on par with Cuirassier in terms of how good it is. Next, we have the viral sapper, and the viral sapper I'm gonna put in B tier, right above the normal sapper zombie, and here's why. So the viral sapper, um, spawns whenever a infected sapper dies. So if an infected sapper dies, they respawn as the viral sapper. So the viral sapper is, I believe, do believe it has more HP than the normal sapper. In addition, it has a unique attack with the axe that's harder to avoid. I believe he's faster, and the viral sapper is basically just the sapper but a little bit stronger. So yeah. And next, lastly but not leastly, we have the crawler. Now the crawler is the goodness, I'm losing my brain. The crawler is Guts and Blackpowder's only command exclusive zombie in Guts and Blackpowder. There we go. I was looking for the word to say. And I'm gonna put him in C tier, and here's why. So the crawler is basically just a shambler, but without legs. He is significantly slower, and because he hasn't been tweaked for the modern day, he has a lot less, he has, like, a lot less, what's the, I forgot what I was saying. But yeah, the crawler is way, way, way slower, like snail's pace type slow. And its infection levels have not been tweaked, so it has really high infection levels for some reason. And it, unlike normal shamblers, or unlike shamblers or whatever, crawlers cannot be cannot, like, you cannot get them off yourself. You have to have another player help you get them off. So crawlers are basically shamblers that are buffed in some ways and nerfed in others. So yeah. Interestingly enough, the crawler was actually almost added in London, but then they scrapped him. The crawler is actually one of the older zombies in the game, even being older than some of the zombies that are in the game today. So I think that's pretty cool. But yeah, crawlers, they just kind of suck. They don't really got much going for them. I mean, sure they can, they have buffed infection, and you can't get them off by yourself. But I mean, that's basically just, I mean, a runner does that way better, I feel like a runner does what the strengths that crawler does way better. So yeah, that's my tier list. So in S tier, from top to bottom, we have the Cursor. Again, sorry for butchering the pronunciation. The Viral Runner and the and the Normal Runner. Then in A tier, from top to bottom, we have the Bomber and the Igniter. Then in B tier, from top to bottom, we have the Viral Sapper, the Normal Sapper, and the Shambler. And then in C tier, all by his lonesome, we have the Crawler. Let me know if you agree with my tier list, and let me know your thoughts on my tier list down in the comments below. Also, if you want to check out the Guts and Blackpowder Wiki, where I got the images and the research for this tier list video, you can go ahead and check it out in the description. I will leave a link in the description below. Alright, I need to get this video out. Peace.